Hello everyone, it's M4J here, and welcome back to M4J-Hatfield Racing here on F1 2021, and we are in Mexico at the Autodromo Hermanos. I think I've butchered that. I can't remember the name of the track. But basically we're in Mexico for the Mexican Grand Prix. We had an alright time last time out in the USA. This video, by the way, was meant to come out last week, but my scheduling was all over the place, so I had no time to record, which meant Tom had no time to edit, which meant we just decided to delay it a week because we thought it was better. Hopefully, that won't happen again, but you never know. The problem with schedules is they are quite unpredictable. But yeah, we're in Mexico, and this is my first proper lap of practice. Here we are in P2. This is the qualifying lap. Qualifying sim, I think it is, in practice. And coming up to the first corner here, I had some problems here with the car as well, where it just felt like it wasn't slowing down, particularly around these chicanes. Can you call them chicanes? I don't really know what you call these, like the three corner complexes. So that first one there was quite tricky. This one here, sometimes I got it right. Like this was a pretty good line there, and this was a pretty good line here. And then coming up to the hairpin, little bit wide, but still pretty decent. Not going to complain too much there. And sometimes I just completely whiffed it, and I'm sure you'll see me whiffing it a little bit later on as well. This is another one of those switchbacks, a bit like the one in Kota and also Suzuka actually, where you are supposed to lift, but the line doesn't really tell you that you're supposed to lift. It kind of goes yellow, but that implies you can still go flat out if you know what you're doing. Ignore that. That's me not knowing that corner was coming up properly. Same with this one. The baseball section here, the stadium section is an absolute nightmare at the best of times. And there's a little love tap on the wall there. Almost Bottased it, but managed to just keep out of the wall, snapping my front wheel off. And to be honest, that was a pretty good quali lap. I completed the objective. You can see there though it said estimate position 19th, which I wasn't too happy about because that's basically dead last. So wanted to do something about that. Also got a lovely little slipstream there off the Alfa Romeo. Very grateful for that. I don't actually know which of the Alphas that was, but not complaining about that. Again, turns 1, 2, 3, I believe these are. Not bad. Pretty decent there. Into the DRS zone. So I think at this point I am on the race strategy. Yes, I'm on the race strategy sim. That's actually a very nice line through there as well. And coming out of here. I think following cars actually helps me out a lot because I see where they go and I just follow. Little bit of snap oversteer there coming out of the hairpin. And then again, this section here, if you mess up the first line there, it kind of ruins the rest of your section here. And there's me trying to go flat out because again, the line didn't turn yellow at all that time. And somehow I came out facing the right direction, which is pretty rare for me. I was debating turning off traction control for this race. I am still debating doing that for Brazil, which is next week's race. And I think I will. So I need to start learning to drive without traction control. Because you see, I am relying on it quite a lot. And I think the best way to become better at this game is to turn off all assists, not just some of them. And try and, well, yeah, basically try and manage without them. So that's the end of practice. I was going to let Crofty talk there, but he's a bit quiet. Not bad, you know, 14th fastest isn't the best, but I'm still learning the track. This is one of those tracks I haven't driven very often in the F1 games. And I think last year I actually did okay in the Mexican Grand Prix. But this year, again, aero regulation changes kind of snuck up on me a little bit. I'm not saying it's bad necessarily, but struggled a little bit. But, you know, that's part of the challenge. We completely maxed out in practice though. P3 there was a very good P3. Managed to complete all of the programs, which is something I've only done once or twice this season so far. So to get it there was very, very handy, and I've got some nice little upgrades, which I can't really put on the car right now. I'm saving most of it for next season, because there's no point adding new stuff to the car now, because the regulation changes means you're likely to lose it. So right now I'm still just farming resource points to use in salvaging as much of this year's car for next year. This is qualifying then, Q1. You see I'm pushing a little bit harder. I lifted and coasted around a lot more of these corners. So I still obviously braked, because you need to brake if you're coming in at 180 miles an hour. But instead of braking and then holding the brake and then immediately putting the throttle down, I've kind of lifted off the brake a little earlier and just let the car drive itself around the corners, and then pump the gas once you've straightened up again. And you can see there's parts there where I'm in the red for the Delta, but then when coming out of the corner, I'm actually gaining a lot of time because I'm not wheel spinning, which is very, very valuable. And these switchbacks here, I actually got them relatively spot on. Went a little bit wide coming out of that final corner there, but so far so good. And, you know, 2 green sectors so far. Coming up to the stadium section, that's pretty nice through that corner there. Again, feels a lot less smooth when you're in the car, but when I'm watching it back here, not so bad. You can see I've already taken out that bollard on the exit there. And again, it dipped briefly into the red, but got a really good launch out of that final corner. And set a half-decent time. I think that's his 14th on the board right now. So kind of scraped through Q1. I think 16th is the cutoff, I believe. So 16th is safety, and I came 15th, just ahead of George. Dan got knocked out. You'd expect that by now. You know, he's getting better, but he's still not great. So this is Q2. This is the fastest lap of Q2. Again, I'm actually losing time on some of the straights. This time, not so much. It's flickering between 35 and 35 and 37. So wow, 35 and 37 hundredths is what it's flickering between. This car is still not that fast in a straight line. I think it's something to do with the engine supplier. I am considering switching from Renault next season. Maybe going to Honda. I don't want to go to Honda. I've never used Ferrari. So maybe Ferrari will be my my pick. Especially, I mean, in real life, Ferrari, pretty good engines right now. So certainly not going to complain about that. Coming up to the S's again. Delta's not great right now, but you can see it is recovering. And just like that, it's in the green. I don't know what I did here. And maybe on the previous lap, I just had a really bad section through there. But I set a purple second sector. And it was at this point I realised that I'm actually starting to do alright. So long as I don't push myself too hard, I do alright through sector 2. That, I don't know what I was doing there. That's a blatant corner cut. And then get a nice little toe here. Off the Aston Martin. Down the... the home straight, down the pit straight. That was a pretty decent time. Put me up in the top 10, which is where I stayed. I actually finished 9th instead of 8th. But again, I'll take that. To get into Q3 is still a very good thing in this first season. So I am not complaining by any stretch. That was a purple third sector there as well. Didn't even see that just then. Or I didn't see it at the time. Very impressed with that though. You know, every now and then I can chain together a really good sector. I'm yet to chain together 3 sectors consecutively, but every now and then I do something good. I surprise myself with doing something good, and this seems to be one of those moments. Now, confession time. There is a flashback at some point in this. In fact, I think it's just coming up here. I had a little oopsie coming out of this corner. I think it was just there going wide, so I did use flashback. Might have even been this section here where something went wrong. Maybe my wheel didn't work as expected, or something didn't quite happen like it was supposed to, which I wasn't too happy about. That was awful. Oh, I think I know what lap this is. Yes. So at this point I was going to bail on the lap, but I looked at how long was left and I thought I need to set a good time here. For some reason I thought I had a grid penalty. I thought I changed my gearbox or something. But I think I changed my practice gearbox, and that's why it's not a penalty. But I thought I had a 10-place grid penalty coming up. So I just wanted to set a really good grid position so that when the penalty applied, I would still start at a reasonable position. In the end, I qualified second there, and it stuck. It stuck. I should have rewound, I should have flashbacked or something like that. I don't know, because I technically cheated. I don't feel great about that, but I'm starting second on the grid, so, and I'm almost on pole.
Here we go then. It's time to race in Mexico City, a place which gave Honda their first ever victory back in 1965. American Richie Ginther won from third on the grid. And what are the Honda-powered cars this year? Well, Red Bull have been going strong here in recent seasons, so can they keep that record going today? At 2,285 meters above sea level, the thin air of the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez poses a unique challenge. not just to a driver's skill, but to the efficiency of their engines as well. 17 corners make up a lap of this 2.6-mile circuit, and you can expect incredible speeds in excess of 220 miles per hour, and overtaking too into the hard braking zones of turns 1 and turn 4. It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. Good job yesterday from Valtteri Bottas. The Finn starts from pole position and the engineer completes the front row. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Hamilton, Ricciardo, Charles Leclerc and Sainz, Vettel, Perez, Stroll and Esteban Ocon, Fernando Alonso, Tsunoda, George Russell and Giovinazzi, Norris, Raikkonen, Max Verstappen, they'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty, and Nicholas Latifi, Mick Schumacher, Tictum, Mazepin, and Pierre Gasly picks up the final grid slot today. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
So it seems as though Max inherited my grid penalty. That's not the case at all. But we're at the point of the season now where a lot of cars are needing new parts, and because of that you end up with grid penalties. I thought I had a really good start here against Bottas, but his car is just faster in every single way. And somehow Hamilton got in front of us as well. I need to watch that back again actually, because even then, watching it, it's almost like he teleported in front of me. I did not see him pass me at all, which is really, really strange. Also, of course, it's the Hermanos Rodriguez. Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez. I don't know where I got Hernandez from, so apologies. But yeah, Autodromo Hermanos Hermanos Rodriguez. I was trying to say it with a slight Spanish accent, but no. Let's not do that. Let's not play that game. So drop down to 4th, basically from the start. Ricciardo somehow slipped past me as well. Now, Perez, the absolute driver that he is, choosing my words carefully, he would not give up on me. Every single opportunity he tried to stick it in. And he's hit me a couple of times already in this race. And I think he hits me a couple more times in this race. It's only because I'm playing chicken with him going into the braking zones that I'm keeping ahead. His car is obviously faster than mine. And he's also at his home Grand Prix. So, oh god, that was awful through there. See what I mean about if I push myself, I lose my line. Here he comes again. He's having another sniff, but thankfully shut the door. There's another hit because the AI just turns in whether you're there or not. DRS enabled. We're on lap 3. Where are we at? Perez and Sainz overtake before the first corner, it says here, and sure enough, there goes Perez, and here comes Sainz. I think, yeah, I didn't realise Sainz was there. So I weaved across to try and cut off the slipstream, not realising that he'd actually gone around that side. And also Ocon gets past as well, because I was still recovering from basically nearly losing the entirety of the back end of my car. That was Leclerc. Pretty sure that was Leclerc. Trying to send it up the outside there of turn 4. Again, I did not know he was there. I have my mirrors. I do actually check them, believe it or not, before braking zones. But sometimes in the heat of the moment, I was trying not to hit the back of Ocon. So I just moved across to the outside. Didn't know Leclerc was there. You'll see in the highlights, actually, just what happened. I feel really bad because I like Leclerc. I'm not a huge fan of Ferrari, but I really want Leclerc to challenge this year. And he's already done a very good job so far with a win in the 2nd place. To be honest, the win in Jeddah should have been his as well. He kind of fell foul of the DRS chicken at the end. Here comes Vettel. There goes Vettel. He had a little hit on me there as well. Gasly's out. Mechanical failure. I did actually check afterwards to see whether I hit Vettel into him or something, but no, it was genuine mechanical failure. It's all kicking off in this race. Already we're down to 7th after only 6 laps. Now we've got Alonso getting past on the straight here. This is where I'm realising just how slow my car is. So around the corners, in the braking zones, I can throw it around a little bit, and I do benefit from that. Here we are coming in for our pit stop as well. But down the straights, particularly in the DRS zones, I have no chance. I have absolutely no chance. And even, the back straight at Monza, where there is no DRS, I can't compete. These cars just fly past once they get the slipstream. Sometimes, like the last corner at Zandvoort, I got a really nice manoeuvre done on signs. Sometimes it works and I can get some good overtakes done, but more often than not, this AI level is pretty much perfect for me because their straight line speed is so much faster than me, but my cornering speed is slightly faster than them. So I can make up ground, and you'll see that actually in this race. So I pitted, dropped right down the pack, came back up to 18th here via some undercuts. Got Verstappen right on my right hand side here, and I just want to avoid him at all costs. Nearly hit the back of Latifi there as a result, and I think I got brake checked there by Latifi as well. Managed to somehow avoid hitting him. But again, this is where I actually do quite well. When I'm following cars, I don't mind that at all, because I can basically stay behind them, find the right point to push, and get a move done. And I went the wrong way round here, and I did bounce off him there. If I had full damage on, that would have been game over. And Latifi did hit me there, which was probably my fault as well. But I don't think I actually got warned for that one, so I'll take that. Did get a little distracted there, though, and almost spun in the stadium section, which probably would have been race over for me. At least point scoring, it would have been game over. But in the end, you know, gained another place. Probably gained a reputation in doing so, but gained another place. Gained a few more places here on the pit straight. And now we're up to 13th with, what, 9 laps to go? So again, not so bad. We got a full race update coming in a second. I think we got fastest lap coming up here, though. This was my fastest lap of the race, really. Wow, lap 10. Clear air in front of me. I suppose that could be a contributing factor. And at this point, you know, I'm dialed in. I've done 10 consecutive laps of this track. They're not all good laps, don't get me wrong, but it becomes muscle memory. You learn where the track is. The car's getting faster as well because you're burning off fuel. The track evolution is kicking in as well, so your tyres are starting to grip a lot more. Plus, in my case here, I pitted a couple of laps ago, so I'm still on reasonably fresh tyres. And you can see my line through that second part of the switchbacks there. First section of the S is not great, but second section, look at that, purple second sector. And this is the race, don't forget. There are faster cars out on track in front of me, and I've set a purple second sector, which is just insane. I'm very happy with that. And even this last corner here, clips the outside curb, which I'm fine with. Fly around the last corner. Green third sector, and that's my fastest lap of the race. Thank you, Tom. Up to 11th place now as well because of the pit stops, and now we got a full race update.
P11, we're currently P11. Norris is ahead of you. Our gap to the car in front is 2.2 seconds. They're on fresh hards. Stroll is behind you. The gap to the car behind is 3.1 seconds. They're on fresh softs. Okay, gap to leader, 27.7 seconds. Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now. 6 laps to go.
Thank you, Jeff. So you can see Lando's in front of me here. And over the last couple of laps, I've been closing the gap on him. This is the opportunity. This I felt was the time to strike. Lap 16 starts now. And I've got DRS, I've got a pretty charged battery, and I've got Lando right in front of me. And again, we talk about straight line speed of the car. Slipstreaming is what got me past here. Slipstreaming, overtake, and DRS I needed to get past. We kind of collided a little bit there. Bit of wheel banging, but not too bad. Lando's about to get past me again shortly. In fact, here it is, coming around the last corner. He's now got DRS and overtake and slipstream on me, and I'm a sitting duck. There's not much I can do here. You can see he really closes the gap fast, and I just have to accept it. There's no point getting around him. I try and get the place back here, but just had the door shut on me. That's very good racing there from Lando, actually very good racecraft. And again, I got a little bit flustered and went wide through those corners. And at this point, I thought, okay, 11th, it's not bad, it's not the worst. But again, through the S's, I managed to close the gap on him again. DRS straight here. Overtake was on. I've just turned it off again. And the slipstream. I have an opportunity here to send it around the outside of turn 1. And somehow keep my nose clean. Manage to get past. Very rarely do I get an overtake done around the outside. I normally rely on going up the inside. But we got it done. And the final lap of the race here, against Lando, he's fighting and fighting and fighting, and because I'm looking behind me a lot, I'm not really looking where I'm going, so that was poor cornering. On another day, I might have lost the place there. You know, we're fighting for a point, don't get me wrong. Every point is valuable, but we are fighting for a point here, and yet you'd think we're fighting for the lead. Somehow, though, I managed to get it done. Finished in 10th place. Very, very happy with that, actually. Even though I started second, to finish in the points still, when all these faster cars are blitzing past me, I am not complaining. I am very, very happy with that.
It's victory in Mexico then, and what a victory it is after an incredible Grand Prix. And talk to me, what do you think it was that sealed the win for them?
Well, I honestly feel it was down to the driver and car today. I mean, we can talk driver skill all day, but if you don't have a solid team to back that, you're never going to get anywhere. When you hit that sweet spot of having both an excellent driver and an incredible car, that's when you see results like those we witnessed today.
And I can see the drivers starting to approach the podium for the victory celebrations. A real team victory today. Everybody played their part. Congratulations then to Mercedes, your race winners today. Lewis Hamilton takes the lead of the Drivers' Championship. Some amazing talent out on the track today. But Anthony, who would you pick as your driver of the day?
Max Verstappen seemed to just effortlessly weave through the other drivers today without a care in the world. He was definitely my driver of choice.
It's time to see how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. The lead at the top comes down after a strong weekend from the challenging pack. Well, Ant, an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and we'll see you for the next one.
So that was an exciting race from our perspective. Let's have yours.
Your team must be ecstatic with how you're performing.
How do you feel about this team's performance this season? Great. Well, that's everything.
Here we go then with the race highlights. I still want to see how Hamilton... Not only did he get past me, he also got past Bottas. He does it around the outside. Okay, I see now. Yeah, so from my angle, I only saw one Mercedes, and then suddenly another one was in front of me. That's one of those warped perspective things, isn't it? I still didn't see how Ricciardo got past me, though. But again, just he's a very good driver. Despite what's happening in real life at the moment, he's a very, very good driver. So... no complaints from me. Round the outside there of turn 3 with Perez on my tail, and this is the part where I'm getting better at holding off other drivers. So it's this bit here of, you know, he got his nose in front, that's fine, but outbrake, try and get the line as right as possible without crashing, and you can hold off on a position. This was awful from me, I'll be honest. If I'd have got that section right, I probably wouldn't have lost the place this early in the race to Perez, because here he's right up alongside me, and even after I kind of closed the door on him there, you can see there he's got so much more pace than me. You know, I'm cutting corners and all sorts, and I'm still not keeping ahead of him. Coming around this last corner, that was an awful line actually, looking at it from that angle, and this is where I lose the place. He gets past, and then Sainz basically follows him, clipped into to Sainz there, but still couldn't hold him off. And then I think this is where the... yeah, so there's Ocon, and I think this is where the incident with Leclerc happens as well. So Ocon's in front of me. I don't realise Leclerc's alongside, so I'm trying to avoid hitting the back of Ocon, and I move across. And to be honest, Leclerc, we lock wheels, essentially. His front left wheel goes inside the gap between my front and rear right wheels. I think that was a racing incident, to be honest. I think he was right alongside me, and he was already starting to cut onto the grass before we hit each other. So he was leaving the racetrack as it was. And then this is the battle with Lando. Final bit of the race, basically. Sending it around the outside of turn 1. I'm really happy with this overtake, by the way. I think this is the best overtake of the race. To get it done around the outside, because he's got the inside line there. He can very easily keep that position if he wanted to. In fact, he cut the corner there slightly as well. Maybe I didn't do a very good job. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to hit the like button if you enjoyed the video, and of course if you're enjoying the series so far, drop those comments down below, all that good stuff. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button. If you have already subscribed to the channel, thank you guys for your continued support, and until next time, which is at Interlagos, I will see you soon.